I'm the sports professor, Rick Horrow. Welcome to Beyond the Scoreboard, Inside the Mega Events. It's a trillion-dollar sports business, to be sure, and about 50 to 60% of those dollars are wrapped up in the mega events, the championships, Super Bowls, All-Star Games, World Series, Wimbledon, tennis majors, golf majors, NASCAR championships, IndyCar championships, Ryder Cup. All of those too numerous to mention. I'm in my office to kick off the show, but I'm not here a lot. I'll be on the road on a weekly basis to bring you the inside tips from those major events. The balance sheets, who wins, who loses, the interviews, how you put on the events, and how you sustain them. This is all brought to you by Edelman Financial.
Money doesn't come with instructions. That's why we created Edelman Financial Services to help you with everything from college and retirement planning to managing your investments, helping you achieve retirement security. We're among the nation's top financial advisors. Come see how we can help you.
Spotlight, mega events. We're in a combination of the top of the world here in D.C. We're at Buzzards Point, Nationals Park, to my left, batting practice before the Cardinals are playing the Nationals today. And when you think about it to the other side, Buzzards Point, the new stadium, Audi Field, which is off in that direction. Hopefully you can see it there. I'll get more specific down the road. But the DC United Audi Field, last year opening a tremendous facility. So we'll talk about mega events in the context of both baseball. We did it last week, remember, compared it to the football draft. But let's talk a little bit about baseball, compare it to the across the street. And first, let's start with the baseball deal and the Washington Nationals. We all understand the economics of the Nationals, pretty significant. The average baseball franchise, as we know, is a little over $1.7 billion, maybe 1.8. It's up about 8% from last year. The Nationals are in 10th place at about $1.675 billion, 5% increase with the revenues of $11 million, largely because when you take a look over the left field line right there, what do you see? You see buildings, buildings, buildings. Not complete, but getting there. The Navy Yard metro station and all of the other things that hasten development over in that corridor are pretty darn significant. And Major League Baseball has made the right decision to bring the All-Star game here last year, but also to try to make this a very large, exciting development. When you remember just a few years ago, we had the Washington Senators at RFK Stadium, and we also had a situation where we didn't even know where the Expos were going to go. Well, they're here in spirit, and the Washington Nationals pretty significant. We said last week that the biggest issue for baseball is probably the haves and the have-nots. The Yankees generating about $7 billion in tickets, sponsorship, and cable. The Central Revenue Fund shared about $2.76 billion. But when you think about what is unshared, that's $7 billion, a lot of it's Yankee. $712 million total new revenue, more than the six bottom teams combined. So the have and the have-nots cause the Dodgers and the Red Sox and the Cubs to continue to have a very significant payroll advantage, but yet no repeat World Series champion since the Yankees three-peat in 2000, 19 years ago. So that's over here. When you look at it behind, it's Nationals Park, the development behind it, and we're here on top of the world. Well, let's go over here for a minute, and what you'll see is Audi Field. I don't know if you can see it. Buzzards Point, Audi Field, the soccer stadium over on the other side. And how about this? A building that's not finished, just started. $83 million of development as far as that's concerned. And when you take a look at it, it shows you the possible benefits of what this complex will be doing together. Taking a look at soccer, the Jason Levine and his guys bought the franchise and took control of it after a pretty extended period of time over the last few years. When you take a look at what the numbers are, though, they are very significant, not just from local, but national. The worldwide soccer landscape, the MLS itself, an average franchise value about $240 million, about 7% increase over time. The TV deal, by the way, are we going to sustain it? In 2022, it's been up 6%, but ESPN, Univision, and Fox, $90 million annually. Corporate support for soccer, big. Adidas, a 6-year, $117 million extension, 5 times the prior contract. Expansion, $150 million purchase price, up 650% from a decade ago. The global network of passionate fans, Soccer United Marketing, their marketing arm, has basically a market value of $2 billion. Ironically, DC United, according to Forbes, is number 10 in revenue at about $26 million and $265 million franchise value. But when you think about it, number 10 over there, number 10 across the street, as far as baseball with the Nationals, that is a very, very interesting perspective. And so when you think of Audi Field, it is a classic case for diversity. XFL, the hospitality and fan experience. They looked at 13 sites over 6 counties in 2 states before they settled on that facility, opening it July of 2008. Buzzard Point's expected to have an $82 million economic mixed-use development, about $38 million in spending, $19 million in wages, and frankly, DC United onward and upward. Bottom line, in DC sports perspective, is John Wall more important than Wayne Rooney, more important than the Haskins signing with the Washington Redskins? How about Ovechkin? And how about all of the other possibilities, including Max Scherzer over here? So this is a market that is competing for the hearts and minds of the sports dollar as well for DC fans. And again, it's not for the faint of heart. Franchises, if they don't spend money, they are not into irrelevance, but they're into malaise. And when you look at the Redskins, there is a situation where you need some help really quickly, which is why Haskins needs to be a superstar and fast, and also the Redskins need to find another site in addition to what was formerly, by the way, Raljon, and now it's just a normal part of Landover, Maryland. So as we look to my left and watch batting practice, and my right, where DC United plays tomorrow, and the next day, the sports fan in DC is treated to significant competition, from an up-and-coming brand-aware soccer world to a Washington Capitals Stanley Cup a year ago, to the Wizards' hopefully resurgence, to the Nationals maybe winning a playoff game, and to the Redskins relevant with Haskins. We'll all just have to see. It'll be an exciting year or two in DC sports. Certainly a year as far as economic development is concerned, as a crane is coming right toward me. That's a good sign, ladies and gentlemen. Rick Horrow, sports professor, Mega Events. See you next week.